Thyristor family contains various devices. Example is layer and ACR. So many devices are there. GPUs are there, and many more devices are there. Among them, one of the most popular and oldest device is SCR, silicon control rectifier. So silicon control rectifier, let me talk about today's class with silicon control rectifier. It is a 4-layer device, and it is a 3-terminal device, and also it has got 3 junctions within the device. So this is the definition of a silicon control rectifier. Any 4-layer device can put under the thyristor family. Okay, thyristor, all family devices of thyristor is made up of 4 layers. But especially if you look at the silicon control rectifier, it is a 4-layer device, a 3-terminal device, and as well as it has got 3 junctions. We compared various different layer devices in today's class. A 2-layer device, 1-layer device, and 3-layer device. And today's class we are going to look at a 4-layer device. So if you look at this construction-wise silicon control rectifier, it contains 4 different layers in this manner. One is PN. Between P and N, we have a junction which you can call as J1, and between N and P, junction let me call as J2. Between P and N, let me call as junction J3. So these are the 4 different layers. We don't have any common layers here, NN or PB, such type of layers. And moreover, we have a terminals attached to this. The first P-type layer, this terminal let me call as anode terminal, and another terminal is attached to the last N layer. Let me call this terminal as an cathode. Normally this device current goes from anode to cathode, and we are going to control that using the third terminal, which is nothing but gate. Yesterday's class we explained the working of this, how this device behaves. This device behaves like a more or less like a diode. You see a diode which will act like a switch like this. It is a switch like this. Suppose you have one side an anode, another side with cathode. Diode is just like a switch. If you apply forward bias across this anode and cathode, this will become a short circuit. If you apply reverse bias between anode and cathode, this will be open circuit and it will be reverse bias. Similar to that, even SCR also performs like a switch, but this is a little bit different from the PN junction. How it is different is, the moment you apply some gate pulse here, this particular junction will get switch will get closed, and even though if you remove the gate signal here, this switch remains closed. You understand this point? That's how the SCR is different from the PN junction. Okay. Let me repeat once again. The current flowing from anode to cathode can be controlled with the help of a gate. And this particular device works like a switch here, whatever we have showed here. It is just like if you don't apply a gate voltage, it will be normal switch like this, open switch like this. That means whatever the current you pass from anode to, if you apply voltage between anode to cathode and makes the current flow to this, this device behaves in this manner. Okay. So if you want to make this device to conduct, you apply some small gate pulse here. A pulse in a manner which is of this type. 0 to high level pulse. For the short duration, if you apply, what will happen to this device? This particular switch will get closed, and this will remain closed even though if you remove the gate pulse. Indefinite period, this will remain in the on state even though if you remove the gate pulse at the gate terminal. How it maintains the on state even though in spite of removal of gate pulse, we will explain through the internal operation of this. Okay. So this is going to be the 4-layer device which you are seeing here, PN, and alternatively there can be even NP also. I have taken just as an example of this PN layer device. Similar analysis can be NPNP device also. Okay. And mainly look at here, there is as we mentioned that there are 3 junctions are there, and okay, application of here voltage between the anode and cathode will bias these junctions in different ways. Let me take it one kind of bias here. Say for example, if I apply positive voltage to the anode and negative voltage to the cathode, so what will happen in this case? Look at the junctions in J1, J2, J3. Because of positive voltage applied to the anode, positive which is of P type, right? P type is connected to the positive. This will be less positive, right? And this is more positive. Obviously, this is away from the P type. This must be less positive, right? That means this is more positive. This is less positive. What type of bias the junction J1 will be? It is forward bias, because when we say forward bias, when anode is P type is connected to the positive terminal and N type is connected to the negative terminal. Moreover, this P type will get higher voltage, N type will get lower voltage. Such kind of the bias we call as forward bias. So now in our particular case, J1 is forward bias because P is connected to the positive, N will be less positive. Similarly, you look at junction J2 before we come into junction J2. N is connected to the negative, which is more negative, and the P is connected to the almost it is towards this positive. Or another way you can say that N is negative and P is less negative. So because of this, junction J3 will be forward bias. And you can see that junction J2, okay, which is the middle junction of J1 and as well as J3. Look at here, this one is P1 is P is connected to the almost it is negative because of this power supply, this negative power supply. And look at N here. N is positive because of the positive power supply. Okay, so N is positive, P is negative. What kind of bias? Plus change. N P is negative, N is positive. It is reverse bias. You understand this? Because of application of positive to the anode and negative to the cathode, look at the biasing conditions inside the silicon control rectifier. Assuming that we not applied any voltage across the gate. Okay. We not applied any voltage to the gate terminal. In such situation, have you seen the biasing condition now? J1 is, J3 is forward bias, J2 is reverse bias. Do you think the device will conduct now if I apply increase the voltage between anode and cathode? You understand this? If I increase my voltage between the anode and cathode, so power supply, suppose if I connect a power supply here in this manner, now do you think current will go through the device? You must answer it, whether current flows or not. Current flows here? How many of you agree with this? The current is flowing through this. Suppose there is a current is there, but it is not a majority charge carrier current. It is a minority charge carrier current. A small current will be flowing through this because of the middle junction J2 is a reverse bias. Because of that, you get leakage current, which is a small quantity. And whatever the resistance offered by this will be very large because it is the device is going to be off. Until unless you apply gate voltage here, the device will not conduct. What about the reverse condition here? Suppose if I apply the bias condition reverse for this, reverse in the sense negative to the anode and positive to the cathode. This is positive, anode will be negative. Look at the bias condition now. Again with zero gate. Let me assume that I have not got anything to the gate voltage. The bias conditions will change. So this will be reverse bias. The middle junction will be forward bias and J3 junction will be reverse bias. Again in this condition, do you think current will flow? Majority carrier current will not flow through this because two junctions J1 and J3 are reverse bias. Only junction J2 is forward bias. Because of this, what may happen if I increase this voltage to larger extent? What may happen? Is the chances of this junction may break down, right? You are seeing the diode. When you apply large reverse bias, what is going to happen? Junction breaks down and large current will result. because of there is no junction. Same thing will happen in this case also. If you apply larger, the anode to cathode voltage, let me say this is VA. Okay. Since the J1 and J3 are going to be reverse biased, because of that, these two junctions will break down, and already the middle junction J2 is forward biased. Large current will flow. Okay, because there will be no junctions after the breakdown occurs. Okay, this kind of the situation is called as a reverse the voltage application. This complete operation is called as a reverse operation. Okay, just like in diode we consider a forward operation and reverse operation, reverse bias operation. This is going to be reverse bias operation of the SCR, silicon controlled rectifier. So we'll see that now with the help of the characteristics. Let me analyze this device, how it behaves. So before we go to that, let me give the symbolic representation of this device. This device can be interpreted as two transistors connected back to back. One is going to be PNP and another one is going to be an NPN transistor. Okay. What I am trying to do is, if you cut this device in this manner, okay, so this complete ACR can be interpreted as two transistors connected back to back. You can see here there is an PN and as well as P, there is an NP and as well as N here. Okay. So this is what I am writing here. That means this ACR can be interpreted as two transistors connected back to back. Just like in transistors stabilized, a transistor can be interpreted as two diodes connected back to back. Similarly, the ACR can be interpreted as two transistors connected back to back. Among them, one of them is a PNP transistor, another one is NPN transistors. Look at that how they are interconnected inside the ACR in this way. And this is going to be my anode, and this point is going to be the cathode. Okay. That's going to be the interconnection, and this particular point will be the gate. Okay. So this analogy is nothing but it is a two transistor analogy of an SCR. Let me refer this as a figure A. Two transistor, okay, analogy of silicon controlled rectifier. Of course, there is a symbol for this because to construct a circuit from the silicon controlled rectifier, you need not write a structure like this. There is a electronic symbol for this. The symbol for SCR is going to be similar to that of diode. Okay, where we will have for diode anode and as well as cathode terminal, and this particular terminal current flow is controlled by the third terminal called as a gate. The only difference between diode and anode and this diode and as well as SCR is there is a gate terminal which you don't see in the diode. This is a symbolic representation of an SCR. Let me write it here. This is figure B, symbol, electronic symbol of an silicon controlled rectifier. While constructing circuits, one can use this kind of electronic symbol to draw the circuit of an application of circuit which is based on SCR. So here already we have showed a two transistor analogy of an SCR. Let me write this in terms of the symbolic representation to explain the operation of this SCR. I am just rewriting the symbolic representation of an the SCR based on two transistor analogy. First, let me write here we have a PNP transistor. Let me write a PNP transistor here. PNP transistor arrow will be inward, and below this let me write an NPN transistor. Arrow mark is outward, and here analogy of a transistor SCR. Let me call this one of them as Q1, another one as Q2. Okay. All of you understood how to write this symbolic structure? Just in the same way, whatever I have talked here, I have written down here with the help of symbolic representation. We have a gate here, and this is going to be NPN transistor. We have N here, and the middle one is going to be the P. Similarly, this is going to be PNP transistor. This is P type. Middle one is N. The last one is P type. Transistor, again analogy of an SCR. This is based on symbolic representation. Through this, one can easily understand the operation of an silicon control rectifier. Already we explained here what happens, the inside the SCR when the forward bias is applied. What are the junctions which are forward bias and which are the junctions which are reverse bias we analyze. Similarly, under reverse bias conditions, we analyze the biasing condition inside the SCR. So to understand more about SCR, here we have a two transistor analogy of an SCR. Which you can see that in this circuit operation, there is a gate terminal here, there is a cathode which is same as our original SCR construction, and we have an anode here. Now let us see that operation without applying any gate voltage. As we said already that whenever we apply the power bias condition, this device will be turned off until you apply the gate voltage. Once gate voltage is applied, this device behaves again on switch, and even though if a gate is removed, gate voltage, this device remains in the on switch. How that works, we'll explain through the operation. First, let us explain our operation by applying the pulse like this. Let me assume this timing instant as T1. Let's analyze that before T1, the gate signal is 0. Now let's analyze that what will be the circuit condition inside this when the gate signal is 0. But at exactly timing T1, my signal changes from 0 level to some positive voltage. Okay. So we will interpret this in the two timing instants. One is before T1, what will happen inside the circuit, and next one is after T1, what will happen inside the circuit. So first let us consider the condition before T1. That means gate is 0. When gate voltage is 0, what will happen inside this SCR? Look at this. There is a P and N junction here, and there is a P and N junction here. Okay, we can interpret this transistor like a diode again. Okay, and then again the SCR can be interpreted as a transistor. Okay. So here let us see that when gate voltage is 0, this PN junction is not forward bias. Right? And let me write the voltage here. Let me apply some voltage between anode and cathode. So this voltage let me call as VA, plus to the anode and minus to the cathode. What this condition says? We have applied some voltage between anode and cathode. We haven't applied the voltage at the gate terminal. Gate voltage is 0. Because of that, this particular junction, PN junction, is not powered by us. Same way the PN junction here is not powered by us. That means very small amount of current, negligible amount of current will start flowing through this. Okay. And here the collector of this is nothing but the base of this PNP transistor. That means for this, input is coming from this transistor, and again the collector of this is nothing but the base of this transistor. Okay, this is going to be the one is controlling the other one. Collector of this becomes base of this, and the collector of this transistor becomes a base of this. Okay, so that means this is controlled by this transistor, and in turn this transistor is controlled by this transistor. And since you can see here, because of gate voltage is 0, even though you applied here some voltage between anode and cathode, but still current will not go from anode to this point to this point since gate voltage is not applied. And because of that, so this particular junction, PN junction, and this PN junction remains, it's not power biased. Because of that, small amount of current may result because of leakage, charge carriers, which is nothing but IC. And even this current, which will be in terms of nano amperes, and this current is very small, so that that will not, the bias is in power conditions. And again, because of this, even this also will be in the off state. And current will not flow from this particular end to the P type, and this current also is going to be very small current will be going from the PNP transistor to the base of this. So this that causes a very large resistance between this anode and as well as cathode. So device is going to be off because of large resistance offered by the these two transistors. Because of that, device remains in the off state. Typically, resistance offered because of no gate voltage is called as RR, which is going to be 100 kilo, a typical value. Okay. That means you apply some voltage, and because of this, current is not going, because from this anode to the cathode, device is offering this much amount of resistance, very large resistance device is offering. Because of that, current will not. Okay. This condition is again as it is. Even though further if you increase the anode to cathode voltage, what may happen is, you can see here. This is going to be, even though this is power biased here, current will not flow because this is this particular transistor is in the, this is not power biased. This particular junction like PN junction and this PN junction mainly depend upon the voltage coming from this N and P as well as this particular gate voltage. Due to that, these two junctions are not power biased, will result in a small current, and resistance offered by the device is going to be around 100 kilo. Let's see that now by application of gate voltage what will happen. That means let me analyze this complete circuit after T1. After T1 in a sense, we have applied some positive gate voltage. Some gate voltage is positive. In such situations, what will happen inside the circuit? You can see there is a gate voltage coming from this. Okay, because of gate voltage, there is sufficient amount of base current flowing through this, and you can see that gate is positive PN. This particular junction is power biased, and even this particular junction is power biased. And because of, let's assume that current flowing through this is IB, okay, because of the gate voltage applied. And look at here, this is going to be the transistor. What will be the collector current of when the base current is IB is flowing? Say for example 20 microampere, 30 microampere is flowing because of the gate voltage. What will be the collector current now? There is no more leakage current now, because now we will get the charge carriers because of the majority carriers. Okay, you know the expression IC is equal to beta IB. Okay, once we know the base current, beta times that will be flowing here because IC is equal to beta times IB. Let me say this is IB of 2-2 transistor, this is IC of 2-2 transistor. And this much amount of current will start flowing in the collector terminal of the Q2 transistor because of base current has been increased. This base current has been increased due to the application of gate voltage. See that what will happen in the Q1 transistor because of the base current of, because this current of this will be the base current for this. So whatever the current here, let me interpret this as a IB2. Here let me interpret this as IB1, which will be equal to IC of Q2. Okay. Both currents are, because current here flowing, which is same as the base current of this transistor Q1. Again look at here now. Whatever beta the current flowing here, beta times it has been amplified by here. Same thing, whatever current coming here, beta times that will be amplified and produced here. So let me call here current flowing here is beta times IB1, current will be flowing here. Do you think the current flowing from the Q1 is small or less, small or large? Look at here, this is, let me assume that here a 10 microampere is flowing. For an example, you interpret this beta 1 and beta of this transistor, beta of this transistor is going to be 100. For an example, let me assume that beta is going to be 100 and beta of this transistor is also 100. Now look at, if I assume that a 10 microampere is flowing here, what will be the current in the collector? 100 times the 10, almost it becomes 1000 microampere. Okay. So 1000 microampere, which is nothing but 1 milliampere. That means 1 milliampere current will be flowing here. Okay. And look at here, 1 milliampere as the input, and again we have a beta is going to be 100. Okay. 1 milliampere to 100 becomes 100 milliampere. So 100 milliampere of current will be flowing here. So this is nothing but 100 milliampere. Look at that. We started with 10 microampere. Because of the two transistor gains, incoming current again, this particular current will get added with the gate current if you still maintain the gate voltage. Okay, positive. Okay. If you still maintain the gate voltage positive, the incoming current 100 milliampere gets added with the gate current, and again current will be increased. You can see that now 100 milliampere is coming. Already we have here 10 microampere, that in turn will get added, and current will be larger now again. Okay, this the particular loop is called as a regenerating loop. Current is generating. Okay, by every loop, the iteration, current will be more and more. Okay, now see the situation. Even though if you remove the gate voltage, what is going to happen? Assume that I am not applied gate voltage. I remove the gate voltage. Gate voltage is at 0. What will happen? Do you think current will become 0? Current going through the transistor Q2 base. Do you think this current becomes 0 if you remove the gate voltage after application? No, because already you know large amount of current which is coming here, that will make this transistor again on power bias, and this will be the loop kind of iteration kind of the circuit. Every time current will be increasing, and that current maintains this complete resistance between anode and cathode will be maintained at low level, and whatever the voltage you applied, because of that, now the current flow from anode to cathode will be of low resistance. Now current can flow from easily from anode to cathode. That means this device is offering a very low resistance whenever these two transistors are on. How do you make these two transistors on? Just by a small pulse here, which can trigger the Q2 and as well as Q1 transistor, and we can reduce the resistance between anode as well as cathode. Okay. So in this way, resistance can be reduced so that we can make the easy path for this particular current flow because of the anode voltage. And typically on resistance, whenever these two transistors are on, because of the gate voltage is going to be around 0.1 to 0.01 to 0.1 ohms. Very less resistance circuit will offer. Okay. You understand this? Okay. Just a small pulse, you can control the device. Okay. This kind of circuits are used in plenty of applications, like the speed control of the fan. I'll give you an example. And even some protective circuits this can be used, and even the chargers. Okay, in mobile chargers or some the heat controllers can use this kind of device. Wherever there is a electronic applications or some non-electronic applications also, this device can be used. Okay, when it is needed for controlling, okay, the controlling is not taking more voltage. That's the main important thing. Okay. Having the small pulse here, you can control the device. If you don't apply the pulse, device remains in the off state and resistance of what is 100 kilo. That means we can make this device either 100 kilo between for the current flow, okay, or you can make this device to offer just a resistance between 0.01 ohm to 0.1 ohm between the anode and cathode. It all depends upon you whether you apply a gate voltage or not. Let's assume that now. My question is now, I have a question for you now. This particular device has been on. Now, what I will do is now, if I make this voltage negative, what happens? Did you understand the situation now? Assume that device is already on. I have applied some positive gate voltage and I have removed it. Hold on. Current is flowing. Resistance is 0.1, say for example, 0.1 ohm. Now, I will not apply the positive voltage again, but I will apply negative voltage. What will happen in this situation? Now my question is whether the device becomes off or on. That's the only thing. Okay, if it is off, in what way it is off? Again, look at here. Negative voltage here is connected to the P-type here. Obviously, you are making this particular junction as reverse bias. But this junction becomes reverse bias. What will happen? Okay, current flow from this point to this point is cut off. Current will not flow from this particular the adapter to the emitter here. So in such case, what happens is this device will be turned off. When loop is broken, do you think the device will offer a low resistance between anode and cathode? So as long as loop is in the continuity, then the resistance offered will will be less from anode to cathode. When the loop breaks, this particular device will offer the high resistance. Now we analyze this circuit under three conditions, not two conditions here. One is zero gate voltage. What will happen? Positive gate voltage. What will happen to the circuit? And finally the negative voltage. What will happen to the circuit? So only this device connects for positive gate voltage. If you apply positive gate voltage here, you can trigger the circuit and make the circuit on. If you want to make it on circuit as an arm, just apply negative gate voltage. Okay? Because the turning off this device is very difficult. Reason is regenerative action. It will take place every time. Because of this regenerative action, turning off this device, okay, by using anode to cathode, maybe it's very difficult. What can be done is, whenever this device has been turned on, a simple way is apply negative voltage to the gate, so this device will be turned off very easily. That's going to be the working of this SCR. If you have any questions, you can ask it before we go to the entire operation. Can be summarized using the voltage current characteristics of an SCR. Let me draw the voltage current characteristics of an SCR. Voltage current characteristics. In this voltage current characteristics, let me take the anode voltage, which is positive anode voltage along the positive x-axis. Negative anode voltage, let me plot it along the negative of x-axis, which is going to be in volts. And the current which is flowing from anode to cathode, that indicate as IA. And this is going to be in milliampere. Negative current, which will indicate in negative of y-axis, which is in milliampere. This is a scale which I have chosen to plot voltage current characteristics of an SCR. Here we will consider gate voltage later on. For the time being, let's assume that we are not applying any gate voltage. And before that, to understand this curve, we have totally three regions are there. The regions of operations of an SCR. Okay. The regions of operation of an SCR can be classified into three types, three ways. The one is going to be the reverse blocking region. We will explain each one of these regions. From examination point of view, they may ask you the construction of an SCR, or another possibility is they may ask you the voltage current characteristics. We explain it in examination. Okay, we can explain the working of an voltage current characteristics by drawing these curves and along with this at least the few points you can write in each one of these regions. One is the reverse blocking region, not regions, and the second one is going to be the forward blocking region, and third one is going to be the forward conduction region. So totally there are the three regions are there. If you look at this, particular region, reverse blocking region. Let me explain what is this reverse blocking region. In the reverse blocking region, the curves will be in the third quadrant. Okay, you can see that the voltage applied in the third quadrant is negative. Anode to cathode voltage. Negative in the sense if you have an SCR. Okay, let me draw the SCR symbol now. So this is my SCR. Okay, let me assume that I have not applied anything to the gate, and this is going to be anode and cathode. What kind of bias you see here now? Anode must be reverse biased in this. Okay. So whatever the voltage we have here, this voltage interpreted as minus V because of reverse bias. Okay. Assuming that we are not applied any gate voltage, this is going to be the type of bias. In this bias, you already seen that inside the SCR, what are the junctions which are forward bias and which are reverse bias. Okay. Because of reverse bias, J1 and J3 are going to be VA is negative. You can see that negative is applied to the anode and positive applied to the cathode. And because of that, J1 and J3 are reverse bias, J2 is forward bias. And because of that, you can see here current is what way to flow. Very small amount of current which will be flowing. This current is nothing but the reverse leakage current. Reverse leakage current. You can see the amount of current which is flowing in the reverse blocking region, which is very small here. And this is because of minority carriers flowing. You can see your reverse bias is going to the junction, and because of that, the minority carrier current will start flowing through this. This is nothing but ICO. That's what we indicate. ICO is nothing but reverse leakage current. How long this current will flow? Okay, if you keep on increasing this bias voltage, okay, to a certain extent it can flow, but when this is made larger, okay, there is a possibility of this inside this the junction J2 is forward bias anyway, not a problem. But look at here J1 and as well as J3, which are reverse bias. Okay, if you apply larger reverse voltage here, because of this, these two junctions may be breakdown, and because of that, large current will be result here. You can see that the current will be like this. Okay. And the point at which the device has been breakdown is called as VBR, reverse breakdown region, reverse breakdown point. Okay. And keep on increase the voltage, anode voltage in the negative manner. Okay. When anode voltage becomes equal to VBR, that means these two junctions are broken, and because of that, large current will result. Okay. There is no junctions. Anyway, middle junction is already powered bias. That's going to be the reverse characteristics, and this region, complete region, is called as reverse blocking region. The curve which you see in the third quadrant is nothing but the reverse blocking region. And let us see the working in the first quadrant. For the first quadrant, you need to change the bias. We need to change the bias. Just apply some positive voltage to the P type and negative voltage to the N type. And again, we will assume that we are not applied any gate voltage. This is going to be the bias. P type to the positive, N type to the negative. That means whatever the current flow, if you tabulate, the curves will be in the first quadrant. Let me see the curve here. Again, if you increase this voltage slowly, you can see that how the current will flow. Before that, let me show the junctions here. Okay, junction J1, positive, negative, forward bias. Junction J3, forward bias. Junction J2, which is reverse bias. And because of that, junction J2 is reverse bias. Initial stage, you get only small amount of current, which is nothing but leakage current. Leakage current is flowing due to the J2 is reverse bias. Let me show that reverse forward leakage current. current will be almost like this. Okay, small amount of leakage current will be resulting. Assume that we are not applying the gate voltage. Okay, without applying gate voltage, some amount of current is flowing, that is shown here. A small amount of leakage current because of J2 is reverse bias. How long this can flow now? I have not applied any gate voltage. The only voltage applied is VA. I am increasing this voltage slowly, and this voltage, what will happen is, okay, because of larger VA, this J2 may break down and large current may flow from anode to the cathode. Okay, I am showing the situation here. Okay, it requires larger VA, and after that, you can see that once at this particular point, let me assume the junction has been broken. This particular junction J2 has been broken, and due to that, suddenly the voltage across SCR decreases in this way. Okay. And slowly the current across SCR rises, and you can see here current curve follows in this way. Have you understood this? Okay. That means without application of gate voltage. Actually, write it here. This is for Ig as 0. I am not showing current voltage there. Instead of showing voltage, I will show current Ig. Ig is nothing but gate current. Since Vg is between the gate and as well as ground, the voltage applied is 0. Whatever current flow here, Ig, which is 0. When Ig is 0, it has taken a large time. This particular voltage, let me call as VBO. Power breakover voltage, reverse breakover voltage. All these are notations. VBR indicates reverse breakover voltage. How do you define reverse breakover voltage? It is the voltage at which, or it is an voltage applied between anode and cathode, at which junctions J1 and J3 breaks down and large current will result. That's going to be the VBR, reverse breakover voltage. How do you define VBO? Power breakover voltage. How do you define VBO? It is again anode to cathode voltage with gate voltage as 0. It's a voltage at which junction is breaking here, J2. It's a junction, the voltage at which junction J2 breaks down and large current will flow, and also decrease in the anode to cathode voltage results. You can see that curve is coming down. What that shows? Curve is down. The moment you cross this, when anode voltage crosses this, you are increasing the voltage. Anode to cathode voltage, this particular voltage. But see what is happening in the device? Once you cross this VBO, immediately the voltage across SCR decreases. That means curve is coming down towards y axis. That means current is, voltage is decreasing. But see after some time what is happening? Voltage will not come to 0. But beyond that, the voltage reaches a certain level. This particular voltage is called as holding voltage. We say VH. Okay. And corresponding to the holding voltage, whatever the current is there, let me call as holding current. A minimum current exists across the SCR. Voltage across SCR will not become 0 even though if you increase voltage beyond VBO. Voltage across SCR decreases. To what level it decreases? It reaches up to holding voltage. It will not become 0. But later on you see that once now the voltage across SCR reaches a VH, beyond that current will be rising. Wherever the current is rising, this particular region is called as power conduction region. Power conduction region or state. All this happened because of no gate voltage applied. What will happen if I apply the gate voltage now? Some positive gate voltage. I have never showed anywhere the gate voltage. If I apply some gate voltage, let's say some medium quantity of gate voltage here between these two terminals. If you apply some voltage, that results in a gate current. Now let me assume that we apply some gate current. Let's say Ig is equal to Ig1. Some gate current is flowing because of voltage applied between some positive voltage applied between this particular P type and as well as N type. And because of that, what will happen to this junction? This particular junction, whatever it has been reverse biased, since you applied positive gate voltage, this also will become now forward bias because of the application of gate voltage. Now, by applying the gate voltage, what exactly you are doing? You are forward biasing all the junctions. J1 and J2, J3 has been forward biased because of this. By applying the gate voltage, you are trying to forward bias the junction J2. Now, there is a continuity here now. There is no more junctions now. All junctions are offering low resistance. Now, current can easily flow from anode to cathode. How do we show here? Some medium quantity of gate current will result in this way. Instead of the VA going VB1 and the voltage decreasing, what will happen is if you apply the gate voltage, it may reach in this fashion. That means at lower anode to cathode voltage, that means voltage across ACR is decreasing. You need not apply the voltage up to VB1. Okay, smaller the voltage is enough for the device to conduct, and voltage to decrease further, the current will start increasing. And this is, let us say, this is for some value of Ig1. Okay, Ig1 is less. Suppose if I apply further if I increase the gate voltage, and let me say that this is Ig2. Ig2 is greater than Ig1. What will happen now further? You can see here now. Curve will be almost like this. This is for Ig2. Okay. If I apply one more voltage, as say for example, this is for Ig3. Ig3 is larger than Ig2 is larger than Ig1. And because of that, we will get the conduction will start. The forward conduction region will start at early voltage of anode to cathode. You understand this point here? If you don't apply the gate voltage, it takes up to VBO. That means this particular junction has to break down. It will take long time to break down. You need large voltage here to be applied for this junction to break down. But now, if you apply the gate voltage here, this particular junction has been forward biased. There is no question of breakdown now, because this junction J2 has been forward biased. Now increasing voltage here, just for smaller voltage here, device will go into the conduction state. Okay. Normally, this region of operation, whatever we have showed here, we don't use this reverse blocking region because it almost looks like a diode reverse characteristics. You see in diode, we don't operate in reverse region because it acts like an off switch. Okay. But look at here in the forward conduction region, even though if you don't apply the gate voltage, you need to apply larger anode to cathode voltage. Simple technique is you apply suitable amount of gate voltage, either Ig1 or Ig2 or Ig3, so that the device conducts at early anode to cathode voltage. This is the working principle of the silicon control. Right? Any questions are there? You can go through this, or else let me conclude this with an application. So many applications are there for silicon control rectifier. Let me mention a few applications. Silicon controlled rectifier can be used in various applications, especially in battery chargers. They are using, and even some heat control circuits. They are using this SCR, and in some protective circuits. We use an SCR, and whenever it is needed to control the power in a circuit, we can use SCR. And also you can see now laboratory we have a regulated power supply. Even there also we use SCR, regulated power supply. supply. This we call shortly as RPS. And in some control system where it is non-electronic control system, they also